Welcome everybody. I'm gonna go over the trades that I took today and the second one too that actually was shown live in Discord. The first one was not live. I was already in the trade when I got live actually, but it was shared in Discord. So I'm gonna go in depth over this trade. I'm gonna share everything that I did, how, and I'm gonna explain everything too. So you actually can do this with any trade. So once you know how this works, you can do this every day. So listen very carefully and make sure that you follow the steps. If you understand this in the market and you want to be trading, you can trade any day. Any market, doesn't matter how easy or not easy it is, you can trade them all. Let's go into it and let's check out how we actually did it. I'll rewind a little bit, but first of all, I'll share you my post that I made before we started. So you can see here, people actually posted live right now, just a minute ago. I was not that what I want to show you, but here on my launch or future trades, I believe future trade was, yeah. So at 7 in the morning today, I shared this post. So I took this trade live, so I make sure that everybody saw it before we actually went into it. So then I took a TP, and this was my first TP, and that one was full TP. So this is the trade that I took. It's been presented as the 7:15, so like 10th of December. You can actually see when it was posted. So now I'll go into the trade session. So this is rewinded from the morning session. So this is 7th December at 7 o'clock. I went this trade in right here. I'm gonna explain why I took this trade before anything happens. So I was watching this and we've been chopping around. So we can see it's ranging the market right here. So we got sell side, buy side liquidity just above us, and this is also previous day high. So we got two major liquidity pools laying just above us. Now, what do we see right here? So we made a break of structure in this region. So we had a full break of structure of this. So the market tends to come back then to fair value of price. So once we take a fib tool and we move this, what did the market do? It came back to a 62 level right here. And then it started moving up. So this is what we call a textbook retracement actually to continue a move to that liquidity pool. So we came down. So we had so we took liquidity and we retested it. So this is a retest. So this would be your optimal entry of this full move to continue to that high. Now, I didn't take it all the way to the high. I only took it to this high, first of all. And this is that internal liquidity that we're still into. So if you know that this market was going to this liquidity up here, if that was correct, you know that this market in here is still going to that liquidity. I always take it a little bit lower so that I'm definitely at my entry and that I definitely got my profits. You'll learn this if you watch me live trading long enough. Now, when I got onto the market, I saw this immediately and I was like, this I have to take. I could not actually take it. This was way too clean. So what did we see afterwards? We saw, again, a new break of structure right here. Where did the market hit to? It came back, retraced it into a fair value gap, first of all, but also into that 50 level. So it came back to fair value of price and it made a new break of structure once it broke this high. Great. So we know that the market is shifting to the upsides. So because we had a first break of structure, now we have a second. We take again that fib tool and we place it from the low to the high. We always tend to come back to where? Fair value of price, so this was the first one. If you see this kind of action price and you see a fair value gap and laying some below it, take those lower ones. It's better. You can enter it off this 50 level, but I would recommend to, if you see fair value gaps laying below it, you don't need to take the lowest one, take the previous one. That's a great entry too. And then you put your stop at the low and you aim for the highs. So if you were online in this level, I wasn't, so I wouldn't be doing it because I wasn't. So this is then the trade that you can take. That's a 2.3, beautiful trade. It would have been a little bit of downside movement for a few minutes, but then the market started to rally. So perfect trade, nothing wrong with it. But I only got online when I was here. So what did I do? Instead of being patient until we had a retracement, we were still, if you take that flip tool again, below that 50 level. So as long as I'm below that 50 level, I'm willing to put in a trade if it's a good art collected. So what did I do? I immediately jumped in a long trade. Once I saw this, I put my stop at the low and I was aiming for this high. So that was a 2.1 R that we could have traded off immediately. Actually, I got it in a little bit earlier. I made a 2 points. I made a 1.8 actually because I took a partial right here. But still, so this was the first move that we made. This is the reason why I jumped in this, because I was aiming actually for that buy side liquidity. The reason why we were aiming for that buy side liquidity again is because this market structure shift showed us that we were moving up to a liquidity pool. This is that liquidity pool that we were aiming for. So because we had a break of structure, we had a fair value gap, we retested on those 5-minute fair value gaps. That was even a 15-minute too, I believe. Yeah, so we came back into a 15-minute fair value gap too, so you could play this perfectly on a 15-minute based. Now after that, this happened, I jumped in and then I posted it on Discord too. Now, I'll move the candles slowly. So that was the next 5-minute candle that we moved. My first TP is always the structure's high. So this was a down part. If break of structure wants to continue, here is a very important one. Remember this one. So this should be always your TP1. If you take this as your TP1, this is that down structure. If it wants to retest it, it will not take out a high. It will just take out this liquidity from that candle and then it will flow again. So at least you had then a TP1 and then you can put your stop at break even. This is exactly what I did. So once this moved, we had a second one. We got TP1. Then I posted in Discord that I took a profit. I'll show you. So took TP1, took 1 hour on TP1 and put up my stop at break even right here. So then I posted also how it looked. This is exactly the same where I'm in right now, showing you exactly this movement. So this was TP1. Afterwards, the market moves actually very okay, a little bit down. It came into the void. It tapped a 5-minute fair value gap. So this would be an adding spot too if you want to add to trades. Then the market started shifting back to the upside. It took the high. So once we're taking a high and we have a candle close to, that means that we have a new break of structure. So here we have a break of structure. So it will retest. So it probably will hit that 5-minute fair value gap right now. What it did, actually, perfectly. We even came a little bit lower. And then we started shifting up. A bit slow, of course, but that is what markets do. And then we started moving up. Here, exactly in this level, I wanted to see it move up a little bit faster. So I put it actually my stop. I'm going to put the next one under that wick. And I got stopped actually at this wick. And then afterwards, it hit full TP. So fully transparent. So this was that thing. Now we're going to put out. So this was my stop. That was only a 29-point move. So you don't need huge moves, guys. You just need to be consistent with this. That's all. And I'll take my journal. This is a live journal, guys, so you can watch it anytime you want to. So this is 1.8 R that I made, and this is the trade I took. Fully in my journal. I got stopped, like I said, on that wick. This was a minute, or a 2-minute candle then, and I got stopped right there. Perfectly fine. Be done with it for that day. You now have a full trade. Look out. So a recap of my trade. Make sure that you actually rewatch this. There's so much value in this little part that you actually know perfectly what we do. What did we do? Again, so we recapped. So we made a break of structure. We had a fair value gap created. We came back, we retested it, and we continued to our TP. So this is a full recap of my trades. Make sure you rewatch this multiple times. There is a reason why. Now, what did we do afterwards? We actually continued to my full target. I could have had patient more, But I was okay with the profit I take, and then look, here we took out that profit. If I held everything, that would have been a 3.15, 3.1. So good trade. I was happy with that previous one. I don't need the full buy side liquidity. I'm okay with sometimes a little bit lower. I'm perfectly fine with it. Now, afterwards, I also shown that there was a big possibility that we could have a shift down. And right here, in this movement, I'll even take my bar selected. So where was it? Yeah, actually here, go rewatch that live from today. You will see exactly what I mean. I said, once we break this low, that 5-minute low, I said, if we create a value gap inside, we can take a short, put your stop at the high, and we can aim for at least this level. The reason why is we made a break of structure right here. On a higher time frame, I'm going to put this one. So again, we made a break of structure, but what does the price wants to do then? It wants to go back to fair value of price. And if we watch that on a 5-minute base, that fair value of price is inside a fair value gap and some liquidity. So this was my full TP that I said. I also said I wouldn't take another trade. Remember that. So I didn't take it. I did share it for everybody else so that you could take it, because this was the first trade was taken outside of my hours. This was inside my hours that I trade live with all of you, and I want to make sure that you actually see this happening. I said be patient until we break. We broke the low. What do we see? We have a fair value gap, a very small one. Take that as your entry. Stops at the high. The market should not come back here if we are aiming to go lower. That's a 2.65, people. Easy trade. Nothing special about it. Somebody said that we could take it all the way back to Asia low. That would have been a 6R right here. I did not. I would not have done that. I would definitely just stop at that fair value of price, just because the major trend is still up. So then the market, what did it do? It came back. Look how clean that stepped into it. It missed it a little bit. And now we got that tap. Be okay with it. If it doesn't always hit your thing immediately, wait for the target to get hit, and then we start moving. Now the market hanged around here a little bit. That was very normal for the market. Look, here it just did one thing. It came back into a fair value gap. It reacted. If the market moves lower, it should do its thing, slowly but steady. I'll go over it completely. So here again, we tapped the fair value gap. So that would have been all adding spots for me if we were trading this live. I said I wouldn't. So this was just a rejection of the high again that we took. We took some internal liquidity because the market needed it. And then we hit that full TP right here. So 2 trades, both of them fully succeeded. This one I didn't take live. Same explanation, guys. Remember this. This just comes back to fair value of price. And here we should have watched how we acted. If you were in this trade and you didn't take full TP and you just waited and put your stop at a high, you could have seen that the market moved and then it started moving very, very fast. What did I do then? The next 5 minutes, look at this. It didn't even stop. It just flushed out everything. And that's in less than 10 minutes. So if you took this trade, you could have made at least to Asia low a 7.2R on this trade. If you ever do this, be done with it for the whole month, guys. Don't overtrade, just be done with it. Be happy. You're done perfectly fine. So go rewatch this multiple times. There's a lot of value in it. I hope you enjoy it. Share my channel. Subscribe. If you join the Discord, you're always welcome. You can also take the bootcamp and learn exactly how I teach this every day. Enjoy and see you in the Discord. So again, if you really want to learn everything, that I'm teaching. I got a full bootcamp story. I got a full bootcamp educational part that shows you everything that you ever need. I recap these trades. I trade live with you every day, so you're welcome to join every day on YouTube. I'm here from 8 to 10, maybe 11 Belgium time. Not always longer than that because I got like say 2-3 hours of screen time is like the max that I want to be in trading sessions. Just we need a break after that and I'm done with it for the rest of the day. So you will never see me trade in the afternoon session right now. I used to trade both sessions to educate people, but right now I'm off of it just to make sure that I maintain my health, and it's very important. My main thing is doing this live every day for you guys to educate you, make sure that you can take proper setups, make sure that you have risk management, make sure that you actually know when to take a trade, why you took a trade too, because it's very important that you know exactly when you take a trade and how you take it. Because if you can't repeat a process, that means that you're gambling. If you're gambling, you're not a good trader, man. You need to adapt this. Rewatch this movie again and again until you can adapt to it. If you want to have a full structured plan, I got one in Discord. Go ask me. Go join. The link is in the description so you can see anything else. Enjoy and have the rest of the day.